Welcome to the Mind vs. Action journey, where every week I will share experiences, thoughts, and ideas on how you can go from thoughts in your mind to actually taking actions. Life is not formed by just what is in our mind, but by actually taking action on what is in our mind. It is not enough to simply hope, think, and wish. We must take action. I can give you the world or take it from you. Sincerely, your mind. I was 9 years old when I decided to go down the wrong path in life. After years of exposure to my neighbors who controlled all the crack cocaine sales in our neighborhood and what that meant for them in financial terms, I decided to enter the enterprise. I had made a decision that I wanted that kind of money so that I could do the things I wanted to do and buy the things I wanted to buy. I did not want their lifestyle. I wanted their financial freedom. Everything changed from a simple thought that had been nagging at me for years, and that day, I had decided to act on it. I did not know how I would start. I didn't know that I did not want to be part of their circle. I wanted to start my own thing. I wanted to be my own boss, and I did. Within a week, I had secured access to their distributor who agreed to sell to me too. Within 6 months, I had 3 adults working for me full time, and I had the blessing of the gang that controlled my neighborhood, which meant full protection for me and control over my block. 2 years after starting, I got busted, and at 11 years old, I was sent to juvenile hall. I share this story not because I am proud of what I did, because I am not, but I also do not regret it. I share this story because this was perhaps the moment in my life where I learned what the mind can do. I learned without knowing it that my mind could lead me to incredible things if harnessed the right way. I did not use my mind for the right actions initially, and it took me a while before I did. But what I did learn was that anything I conceived in my mind with enough conviction and passion, followed by action, it materialized over and over. Everything I have ever wanted or created has first started in my mind. Everything. Till this day, it all starts in my mind. And this is why I say that our minds can either give us the world or take it from us, simply because it really is that powerful. People can and have created world-changing things, good and bad, by what was first created in their minds. How we perceive the world, our experiences, and our reactions to both is fully controlled by our mind, nothing else. Our mind, in my opinion, is the most powerful, intangible thing we possess as humans. At its most basic form, it is responsible for cognitive faculties, including consciousness, imagination, perception, thinking, judgment, language, and memory, which is housed in the brain. I say intangible because the brain is not our mind. Our mind lives within our brain. More on this in a bit. It is usually defined as a faculty of a living entity's thoughts and consciousness. The human brain weighs roughly 3 pounds. It comprises about 60% of fat and is one of the fattest organs in the human body. Our brain has a capacity to generate approximately 23 watts of power when awake, enough energy to power a light bulb. Of the total blood and oxygen that is produced in our body, the brain gets 20% of it. Traditionally, scientists have tried to define the mind as a product of brain activity. The brain is the physical substance, and the mind is a conscious product of those firing neurons, according to the classic argument. But growing evidence shows that the mind goes far beyond the physical workings of our brain, and this for me is where it gets interesting, fascinating, and why I'm a believer that our brain changes our body and can either give us the world or take it from us. Neuroplasticity is the mind's ability to change the brain. Yes, you read that right. But extensive studies by neuroscientists confirm that our mental design inner workings alter the physical structure of our brain matter. So when we change our mind's thinking patterns, we are literally changing our physical brain. I don't think I need to keep selling you on the power that our brain wields, because it is a lot. It is what controls everything we do. Every second of our lives, happiness, anger, anxiety, sadness, excitement, all in our minds. Now, I know that some people do suffer from real brain chemical dysfunctions that cause the mind to not operate fully. So when I write this, I am not speaking to them. I am speaking to the people who do not have any dysfunctions, to the people who willingly do not take control over their minds. I am speaking to the people who willingly live unhappy lives, simply because they do not want to change how their minds operate. I am speaking to the people that know that by taking a certain actions or reactions, they will suffer the next day, or that very same day, but they do it anyway. I am speaking to the people who live day by day, letting others consume their minds and therefore their lives as well. These people are the media, our family, our friends, the people we work with. But ultimately, it is up to each one of us what happens in our mind, which dictates what happens in our physical form of life. Everything that we have today in our lives, good or bad, blessings or misfortunes, were caused by our minds. The thing is that our minds can be rewired to work for us and not against us. It takes effort, massive discipline, and hard work. It takes self-awareness and self-accountability, but it can be done. It has been done. It is being done by many. I was fortunate that I was born with this gift. I just had to learn to apply it to my greater good, and I did. And when I did, my life changed completely for the better, forever. And because of this, my loved ones and many whose lives I have crossed have also benefited because of it as well. For me, I believe we start the process of reprogramming our minds by first taking notice of the things that happen in our everyday lives and how we respond to them, and then asking ourselves, why did I respond or react that way? But honesty here is key. You are not looking to justify your actions, but rather being raw about your answers. Why did you do it? The reasons we do what we do is the most important part in the quest to master our minds. As you do this on a constant basis, you will become more aware of the things that take place in your life, and you go from being on autopilot to actually being the driver of your life. Once you identify patterns of certain responses and reactions, you realize that there are different ways to respond or react. At this point, you start assigning different ways of responding and reacting to everyday experiences. At this point, you realize why you do what you do, and at the very least, you become conscious that what you are eating is bad for you, but you will eat it anyway. At this point, you realize that your negative thoughts have no basis and are truly all in your mind. And even if you decide to not change them, you are at least conscious that you do not want to change them and now have them by choice. At this point, you realize that the fear you have pursuing your dreams is all in your mind, and that what is holding you back is you, no one else. And even if you decide to not do anything about it, you at least know that it is you. I keep repeating the part of at least you know or are conscious, because once you are, it is very hard to not take action on doing something about your mind, your life. Once you become fully aware of what you do, it is hard for you not to want to do better for you. Unless, of course, you don't value yourself or love yourself, which I believe we all do. Start today by taking inventory of all the things that take place in your life, especially the little things, as those are the ones that shape the big things. Start asking yourself today why you do what you do and how you can do them differently. Please subscribe to my blog, podcast, or YouTube channel to get notifications when my weekly entry is posted. I promise I will never disappoint. Thank you, and till next time, I challenge you to own your thoughts, actions, process, results, and ultimately your life story. Most importantly, I challenge you to go from thoughts in your mind to taking actual actions on those thoughts, as nothing happens until actions are taken.